Hello.
Hello. I'm sure we'll get a confirmation shortly. Yes, there we go. Kent Evan, thank you.
I'm,
Hello.
I'm
Welcome.
sorry I don't sound like Yu-Gi-Oh.
I think I don't know. I just picked a voice at random, and your sort of like bip 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 sounded a little like deeper voice. So I was like, I'll just go with the Yami Yugi Dan Green voice because it's one of the easy ones. Anyway, so that aside, shall we get into the questions?
Sure.
All right. So, how did you decide on what you were going to make for the jam? This delightful homage to the big names of the GMC community.
So for a long time, I wanted to make a game as a way to give back to the community and stuff. I had a whole bunch of other people planned for this game, but like the moment I got Sulfur done, I realized this is going to take forever. So everyone who made it in got lucky, I guess. And I just decided to do that for the jam.
Yeah, I do think that's incredibly ambitious, was to try to create a sort of narrative cutscene based game. Like, how long did it take?
So the first part that's just my room
Yeah.
took an entire day. And
Yeah.
then Sulfur's took its own day. And then I was like, all right, well, if I want to add Alice and Nocturne, I have to smash them together real fast. That's why there's like no EvanSki fight or anything like that.
I don't know, it almost feels more fitting, like that's like a better match to the game, is to just have that unresolved. Wait, can you still hear me?
Yeah,
Okay. Sorry,
Just-
I just you were
it froze for
very
a
quiet.
sec.
Okay. Yeah, here we go. I'll have the game up and perhaps this playing on mute while we talk. Wait. But I realized I'm on a full screen webcam. Never mind. If anyone else wants to try this game, here we go. We do have a question coming in from Kent Evan. Why EvanSki and EvanSki?
Oh, that's a great question because it gets me to plug. So on my Discord server that you can join, I don't know if Mr. Bluish here will
Throw
send a
in
link
chat.
to
Go
it.
ahead. I don't have a link, but feel free to post one.
All right. So it was a joke about like someone made the joke about calling me from a different name, like Evan Sky or whatever, and I made the joke that it was an evil version of myself, and then that's just what I took and ran with. It was also because the last jam, Cloaked Games made the comment that he was going to change his avatar to red, so I decided to do that too, and then it all just kind of worked together to make an enemy.
Well, John, were you part of the red gang or the green gang?
No, I'm Green Gang for life, yo.
Yeah, me too. That's what I thought. I remembered seeing you in the green gang, so I was wondering, like, why would you change your avatar to red?
Oh, it's just all funny thing. It's the Red Gang one.
Well, yeah. The shame. Anyway, so you had a lot of cutscene to build here. Was there a particularly clever hack or shortcut that you used to get this all working?
Well, originally I didn't have the option to have like sprites or voices and all that, right? Like the text box system had a way to use sound, but while I was working on it, Nocturne was in the stream, and it was his code I was using anyway. I just edited a bit, and so he helped me figure it all out so it can be like it basically just asked a script what you want for the entire scene, and that's what it will use step by step. So it's like really messy code because it's the same thing over and over again, but it all works out in the end, and it's like one big array. So
Yeah. That's exactly the kind of like jam code that I would expect. Kent Evan, to explain really quickly, the red, green, yellow gang was for the big Game Maker Community Jam number 40. They had everyone affiliate with one of the three colors, and then your gang would get points for submitting games, rating games. Anything else? I feel like there was some other metric that the gangs were scored on.
I'm not sure. All I know is that they deleted it afterwards, and when I became the jam host, I'm like, no, I want that back. I put it back in the Discord and everything myself.
Yeah.
Alice helped too because she knew how to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a like, quasi competitive, mostly for fun thing. But anytime you put people on teams, they immediately get like a little. They get into it. So I think it was fun. That was a contribution by Game Dev Dan, who ran the previous jams up till now.
I was
Yeah,
oh, sorry.
go ahead.
No. All right. I was thinking about maybe using it for another jam at some point.
Yeah, for sure, because it is now your decision since you are the jam host. And how is
I
that
know.
going?
At the first start of it, it was kind of stressful because it's like I didn't know how it was all gonna go. Then in the middle, it kind of got stressful again because everyone kept making the same joke about a rude remark about the theme that I won't get into again. But it all worked out. I'm really stoked about it, and I'm excited to do more of these.
Yeah, excellent. I'm glad that it was, kind of. I guess you were probably expecting it to be some degree of stressful, but you had help from Alice and Nocturne, so it wasn't too stressful.
Yeah, Dan helped too.
Okay, nice. I'm glad I'm glad that he was able to give some guidance, some suggestion on like what to expect.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I guess moving through my list of questions. Someone, it's K Burke is saying that you're the one who exposed the letters. I guess saying that it's your fault for the.
Had a full plan and it kind of fell apart, but I got to make memes. So who's the one who gets the laugh now?
So, did you plan on including any other jam members? Like, this is kind of my question on: did you need to cut or change anything in order to finish the game on time?
So the original idea I had was it was gonna have Burkhart here with his clown posse, just to make fun that he annoyed me. He annoyed me again this jam too. But it was also supposed to have Stogden because Stogden added me to his game, and there was supposed to be like just a lot more people that I enjoy in the community. And then it's like, oh well, if it's taking me this long to do this one character, there's no time I can do it within the jam.
Yeah, having made a few narrative games for jams myself, I know how demanding that can be of your time. And were you just like ad-libbing the whole, like all the writing? Were you just like typing whatever came to your mind next?
Oh yeah. That line about all this 100% dialogue is made up on the spot was all made up on the spot.
I think it still holds together decently well, all considered. And for it being a comedy, like a lighthearted experience, I don't think anyone's gonna give it too much scrutiny. So,
have you seen the trailer for it?
I started to play the trailer and then I realized that I am not sharing my screen. So I'll how about when we wrap this up, I'll play the trailer on the stream.
Oh, that'd be
everyone
lovely.
Can see it. All right. And I guess do you have any plans for the game going forward?
I do plan on making a post-jam version where I add a whole bunch of the cut ideas I had back in. But, I've said that a lot about a lot of other games too, and that's never happened. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it can be tough to, like, I don't know. It depends on what the reception from the jam game is, because I know that plenty of people will take a jam game and release a more polished version of it. Maybe they even get a Steam release, and maybe even like does decently well. But it really depends on what the jam game is. I think this one's appeal is going to be very linked to the game maker community and the people who will understand who they're seeing and what the names are and the references.
Yeah.
All right. Well, was there anything else that you wanted to share about the experience?
I just say I appreciate everyone who made a game for the jam. I appreciate the whole community, and having a chance to talk like an interview like this too is really great. So it's just thank you to everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll have to echo that myself. Like, thank you as well for hosting the jam. It's been a lot of fun to participate, and I'm glad that things could continue to keep going after Dan had to pass the torch.
Yeah, that was wild because like Nocturne was the first to be like, oh well, Alice would be good. And I'm like, well, I was thinking about it. I'd be like, I'd be willing to do it, and everyone just jumped in on board. Like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I was like, oh, okay, works for me.
Nice. yeah, like despite the fact that I've been using GameMaker for such a long time, I've only ever been like on the peripheral of the community. I guess I just never. I'm just in general not into using internet forums and that kind of thing. So I wish I'd been a little more active. But like the names like Alice and Nocturne especially are familiar. Like I played especially Nocturne's games from like way back. Um, and then obviously as of last jam, I saw your name a whole bunch, especially in the Discord, and seen Alice around a whole bunch. And it's like, wow, it's really cool. Like I'm gonna be playing Alice's game on stream tomorrow, and I haven't had a chance to talk to Nocturne yet, but yeah, it's neat to be able to interact with these people. It's like, oh, I kind of know you even if you don't know me.
It's a weird world we live in where we can just meet people online.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I said I would, and I'm going to switch back to the main screen turn on, and we're going to check out the trailer. I'll unmute it, I'll pause the stream background music, and everyone gets to see in real time what this is.
In a world threatened by pure evil, our hero shall rise. In a point-and-click adventure, for one big mistake comes a story you won't forget. Meet interesting friends,
Which may or may not be interpretations of real life people, and they may or may not be.
play exciting minigames, solve the one puzzle we had time to make. This game jam play as EvanSki. EvanSki's Raccoon Adventure.
I'm surprised that when the computer exploded, you didn't use that like stock game maker explosion effect.
I didn't know there was one. I'm using Game Maker Studio 2.
I'm thinking of like very early versions of Game Maker.
Nah.
It's like this quintessential explosion sprite.
I know there's
Let's.
like debug sprites and the actual program that
Mhm.
you can't use, which is weird.
Yeah, I'm thinking of some particularly like significantly overused explosion sprite. They used it in um, Deltarune when you make like this weird tank thing and it explodes. Um, anyway, just because originally I don't know about Deltarune, but Undertale for sure was made in Game Maker, and I think that that particular explosion sprite was a callback to early Game Maker days when you installed Game Maker 7 and it came with this stock explosion effect that everyone used. How far
That's great.
how far back have you been using Game Maker?
I started with Game Maker way back in around 2015.
So what
I
version was that?
had that was Game Maker version like 1.3 something, I
Mm-hmm.
think. And I do know I only joined the forums in 2018 because I had issues with certain code.
Mm. So
I
yeah,
just
because
I just stuck around.
Nice, because when I say like, oh, what version of GameMaker, I'm thinking like I was using version 7. Like no, and I technically I started with version 5, and then version 7 was where I did a lot of my work, and then eventually version 8, and then Studio and all that.
I never bought the first Game Maker. They just gave it to me for free for some reason. I bought the second one though.
Yeah, GMS Studio 2.
Yep, I got a full license for that. I got the HTML5 license and all that too.
Nice. So, was there a reason that this wouldn't work in HTML5?
I don't know how to use HTML5.
Isn't it just a matter of like dropping down from the list and hitting compile?
Probably, but I don't know. The last HTML5 game I tried making doesn't even run.
Oh,
So
no, it's true. There are definitely, and like this is something that I run into with my games as well. Is that like I'm pulling it up on the stream here, but there are this visual effect that I have with like a using a game maker surface to like redraw the tiles on the screen doesn't work in HTML5. That's why I had to drop it out. And the game when you play it in HTML5 is only two tone. So there are definitely like some things that flat out don't work in HTML5 that you just have to like or maybe rewrite or use WebGL or something, but then using WebGL breaks other things.
yeah,
But it'd be, you know, I haven't used Game Maker Studio 2, so I'm not sure. I just remember in Game Maker Studio version 1, it was pretty painless because I got a master license for that and I used it to publish some apps and plenty of games in HTML5. But yeah, a lot of them just wouldn't run for one reason or another. There was just always like some feature that's like, oh, that doesn't work in HTML5. Too bad.
there's like this bug in the Linux
Yeah.
versions of like when you do certain functions, the
Mhm.
entire screen on your Linux machine will break. It just has like glitched like pixels and stuff of like
Oh,
if you had like a browser open, right?
yeah.
And you had closed it and played this game, it would still show what was on your browser.
Weird.
Like it was like reading from like the memory, I think.
Huh.
I don't know. I sent them a bug report and they're like, "Yeah, we'll fix it whenever. We'll let you know." And I have not received anything back from them.
Okay, so on that topic, I have to open this. Did you do much level editing with Game Maker Studio version 1?
I did, yes. I was
Okay.
planning to make an entire RPG in it, like a full RPG. So I made like a whole world system and stuff like that, and it eventually grew too bad. And my smart person started in GMS 1,
Mhm.
converted it to GMS 2, converted it to GMS 2.3, and now I can't read the code because it's all mixed
Uh,
together.
okay. Because the thing I wanted to ask you about is this bug where I will place a tile that's like 16 by 16, matches the size, and then I stretch it out, and then I resize it, and it's broken. Now it's 4.27. Have you encountered that?
uh, I probably have, but I won't remember.
Okay, because I reported this bug to Yo-Yo Games back in the day, and they're like, "Oh, we can't reproduce it." It's like I just did it in 2 seconds. This is one of the easiest to reproduce issues. It's been in there since Game Maker Studio version 1.3, and they never fixed it. And it bugs the hell out of me because it happens constantly.
I think it's just an excuse is they have no idea how to fix it.
Very likely. And like I wrote a hotkey which quickly tabs through everything and deletes the tailing digits on the X and Y scale. So that's how I fixed it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mess around a lot in AutoHotkey and make crazy things like this function pad or make my five button my 5 button mouse into a 20 button mouse by treating the fourth and fifth buttons as modifier keys.
I find it weird that Windows doesn't have natural, like, you can't use the buttons that are extra on your mouse. Like, Google will use them and it's only like backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
But, like, I never use that.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, that's why I like pressing the four and fifth mouse buttons together opens this function pad. And then if I have a text document open, for example, here we go. This is the auto hotkey script itself. If I hold down mouse 4 and I scroll with the mouse wheel, I am going left and right. Um, oh my gosh, my favorite thing as a programmer is this. If I hold mouse 5 and then I click on something, it double click copies, and then if I right click, it double click it pastes. So I can really easily like double click copy something and then paste it somewhere else.
Oh, that's the best.
So I can't quite make this script public yet because it's kind of janky in certain places. But I'm thinking about releasing some version of it so that people can mess with it and add different functions to their mice. Uh, because yeah, it's just as a programmer, like I can copy something and then I can say like I want to paste this on a new line as if it were a function. So I paste whatever's on my clipboard plus open close parentheses and then a semicolon. Or space equals space, clipboard semicolon. Um, I could go on, but I won't.
It's just your
Anyway,
one chance to share a whole bunch of stuff you worked on and you're really proud of.
I am very proud of it, and I have a whole like YouTube series on talking about using auto hotkey, and maybe some other time I will plug that. But right now, this is meant to be a conversation about your jam game. So, was there anything else that you wanted to talk about with like the process of making the jam, like making the game? Are you using GameMaker paths to like move your sprite around?
No. So, this is the first time I really messed with sequences, and it came out pretty good. Like I never messed with them before. Everything I did like that was just like hard coded with alarm timings and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So this time I started using sequences, and they just came out really good. I'm really glad that GameMaker has something like that to use.
Yeah, because I guess the only comparable feature in GameMaker Studio 1.4 is timelines. And timelines have been part of GameMaker forever. But
They're they're still in GameMaker too. I just
yeah.
never used them.
I have used timelines very infrequently. I use them to like spawn enemies in a tower defense game, like Spaced Out.
Nice.
Well, it's a tool, and I feel like that's like one of the few uses. Burkhart comments, I actually use timelines for the endings of your entry. Okay, cool. So I guess I will see that shortly. Um,
You look, if you're gonna play Burkhart's game, all I can warn you is to bring a bottle of like some hard liquor and just like play music during it. All right.
oh boy. Well,
It's
okay.
it's very, very hard on your nerves.
Hmm. I remember hearing something about you trying the game and not giving up on it, shall we say?
Yeah, probably way worse than it should have went, so
Hmm.
not exactly proud of my behavior, but at the same time it makes great content, so
I guess so. Did you get some nice Twitch highlights out of it?
I hope so. I don't know if anyone like clipped all that, but I made the joke I was gonna make a angry video game nerd episode parody of it, so I have that to look forward to.
Did you I mean don't you have it enabled so that it like automatically saves your stream?
It saves it for like 2 weeks, but I have to
Yeah.
make like an archive of it.
Yeah. You can download the file. Like I've done that plenty of times.
Yeah.
But I'm also keeping a local recording. Like that's what I'm doing right now, so that if we wanted to put this up, I would have clean audio because I know sometimes I download the archive off of Twitch and it's like, the audio is kind of choppy.
Hmm. I am just another thing for like what
Hmm.
your plans are going forward. I am making a big like cinematic video. I don't want to like praise it too much because of my skill level, but uh, just like overarching like post mortem of being the jam host for the first time and all that, and like
Cool.
what I was thinking towards everything and just how I went about all that. I don't know when it will be done, but that's what I'm working on.
Yeah, it sounds great. I think that is absolutely like another component of the story that I want to hear. So I don't know how much you want to give away right now, but
There is a funny story
Yeah.
that I have managed to record. So when we were first starting out, there is a Game Maker Jam Discord, which I'm pretty sure we're all fond of.
Yeah.
And apparently, Alice didn't know who owned it, right? So we all just assumed the owner was gone.
Mm.
So that means nobody could make me Jam host with permissions.
Mhm.
So we're like, oh, we'll just make our own Discord. So we did for about like a good 30 minutes before Nocturne chimed in and said, "What are you guys doing? I'm the owner." So we had this entire community that had shifted over to a new Discord, who is now going to be hugely confused that we're destroying that Discord and going back to the old one.
Yeah.
It was really great because like while I got like a conversation from Nocturne talking about like how I shouldn't open up a new Discord.
Mhm.
Alice messaged me also and says, "Hey, so it turns out Nocturne's the owner." I'm like, "Oh, really?"
Whoops. I mean, I seem to remember even like Game Dev Dan saying like, "Oh yeah, there's some channels we can't get rid of because the we don't know who owns the Discord."
I'm just really glad we all figured that out instead of having this divergence of the community.
Yeah.
Because I have heard from I don't know how to say it depending on your side of the community and stuff, but
Mm.
there are some unofficial game maker servers out
Mm.
there that are less than family friendly that I've heard
Mm.
that it goes from game maker A to all the way to a whole bunch of them. So
Hmm.
there's already a big divergence in a lot of people.
No, I'm not really like I am now increasingly becoming a member of more Discords as I'm trying to get my own Discord off the ground and joining up with every single Jam Discord, and then now in this wonderful crazy pandemic time I'm creating various Discords to like, here's my Discord for friends I play Halo with, and here's my Discord for friends I play Among Us with, and here's my Discord for friends I play tabletop sim with, and you know I don't know.
Soon we'll all be plugged into the matrix.
Yeah. Well, no, thankfully there's a hard limit on only 100 Discord servers you can be a part of at any given time.
That's very ambiguous.
Well, I mean, at the very least, we will hit our hard limit, and we won't get complete. We won't have our lives completely taken over until Discord and VR chat and I don't know, a bunch of other things all merge together and the singularity happens. Can't Evan in chat says he's hit that limit too many times.
But like, how would you be a part of 100 Discords and manage it? You know,
I don't know. I don't know. We'd have to ask Can't Evan. I mean, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm only a member of 16, and then some of those I'm just barely a member of and I don't actively participate in. But yeah, I think that like I can see how over time you would accrue a large number of Discord servers, but I'm paranoid even about like my YouTube subscriptions. I cull everything that I'm not actively interested in, so I'm not anywhere close to hitting that limit.
yeah, same.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna start wrapping things up here pretty shortly, and then I can try Burkhart's game. Um, so is there any closing thoughts, perhaps?
Uh, anything about my game? No, but just seriously, man, be mindful about Burkhart's game.
Well, I do have music to play in the background, the regular stream music made by Mark Sparling. But I do not have any hard liquor because I'm a teetotaler. So um, we'll just see how much I can get through this on raw nerves alone. All
It's
right.
a very interesting game.
Well, EvanSki, thank you so much for joining me on this conversation and for submitting your game. That was a lot of fun to play through. As I said, I always enjoy the opportunity to do silly voices.
Yeah. Sorry about the car. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully, hopefully I'll be able to check out some other games of yours and we'll have other conversations about them at some other time. But for now, have a good evening. Stay well, stay safe. And yeah, we'll see you in the chat.
All right, see you.